Well, hello everyone. This is Robin Carter, and I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator out of Flower Mound, Texas. And today I am here to share my third and final video using the Life is Sweet Paper Pumpkin Kit from June of 2024. If you're new to my channel, welcome. Thanks for joining me. And those of you that are subscribers of mine, some are new, some have been with me a long time, thank you so much for watching. And I have a little information to share before we get started. First of all, the die bundle savings ends today. So if you want to grab any of those bundles while they are an additional 10% off, today is your final day. And also the die cut machines are also 10% of savings, which I've never seen before. So if you've ever thought about upgrading to the Stampin' Up! Die cut machine, or maybe you're new to die cutting, the Stampin' Up! Die cut machine is a great one. So both the full size and the mini are an additional 10% savings through today. And then let me switch to hands down so I can share the next bit of information. Okay, I always love to share the upcoming paper pumpkin kits so you don't miss out. And I think July, you definitely are not going to want to miss out on this one. Just from the box, I can tell it's probably going to be a very beautiful kit. And it is a card kit. And then in August, we're getting an additional stamp set. So that usually only happens in March, but I'm excited that we're going to get that in August. And then, of course, the fall kit. And then this quarter's add-on die. So this flower will go with the July. I'm guessing the hooray goes for August. And the leaves go for September. But if you know, I've gotten the other add-on dies, and it's great to use those in not only just these kits, but you'll have them to use whenever you find a need for those. So the subscription period for the July is going on now until July 10th. So be sure and subscribe for this kit. And if you do not have a demonstrator, I would be honored and thankful to be yours. And on my YouTube, not my YouTube channel, well, I do, in the description box of this video, I do have a link of how you can subscribe using myself as your demonstrator. Or you can always visit my online store, which the web page is listed there. And if you go to specials, there will be a way to link to subscribe through Paper Pumpkin that way as well. So let's get started. Just set this up here. Now this kit, like I said, it did not offer a lot of alternatives because the stamp set were all sentiments. And by the way, those of you that are Paper Pumpkin subscribers of mine, this sleeve, so you can store your stamps, will be going out in the mail first thing Monday, as well as any thank you gifts for your orders. I think I have all that in stock already, so just be looking forward to that. And the only thing I have left to use from my other alternatives is this pink base. And by the way, let me go ahead and put up the instructions away. And if you're new to my channel, these are what I call my favorite things, and I will explain that as we go along. These are great for storing your paper pumpkin supplies, as well as making memories and more and stuff like that. Okay, so I have that, and I have the lemons that I haven't really worked with. So here's my alternative for this. You're going to need a thick white card base, and this one's going to be a horizontal card. I brought in a coordinating piece of lemon lolly cardstock, and I have already pre-embossed this with the painted texture 3D embossing folder. And I showed in my first video what a difference it makes with these. Well, this isn't a card base, but especially the card bases that came in the kit, that those with already kind of that painted look, to add this texture to it, and it really makes it pop. But this is just plain lemon lolly cardstock that I've embossed. And then I have quite a bit of leaves left. I did cut these in apart to get more leaves. So you can just find a good little spot to cut them, and then you'll have multiple leaves. And mine are all tangled up here in between. So, and then I have the large lemons, which I have not done anything with here. Now this is some ribbon and some options of cardstock to bring in to give your card some life. So let's give this a good crease. And I do like to use my bone folder for this. Okay, that way it stays more flat. And then we're going to start building our scene. So here's what I decided to do. Like I said, I cut one of these apart and I've used part of one on another card. But as you can see here, it doesn't, you still get a full amount of leaf without using the whole thing. This is my extra lemon. Let me look at my design. Now you can decide. I know on my previous video I cut off this leaf because I've never seen a lemon with a leaf actually attached. So you can do that if you want or leave it there. Okay, and then we're going to get our sentiment out. So I'm going to show again how I use my stamp positioning tool. Now I love to use my Stamparatus still, but if you don't have one, the one currently on the market is the Misty, and it's a great positioning tool. I just love this one because I can do plates on both sides and move them around. But unfortunately, this is the Stampin' Up! One that they were no longer able to sell. So what you're going to want is your negative for your labels. Okay, so here it is right here. I found it. You're going to want your negative for your labels, and this is how I'm going to kind of teach how I line this up. So unfortunately, I still have this side lined up for a online class I did, but here I have the sentiments from this month's kit. So what I do is I line them up in one of the spaces, okay, and then I pick it up and then I test it right here on my grid sheet, and I guess I can do that for you guys so you see what I'm talking about. Let me just grab my black ink. Okay, so like I used my Memento and then I ink it up without my labels in there. And by the way, I do find it helpful to go ahead and take all your labels out so you don't get ink on them. Okay, so I test it right there on my grid sheet and I can see that it's nice and straight and pretty even side to side. So then you can just wipe that up with either your chamois or a paper towel or something. All right, let it dry and then set your labels back down. Always make sure your foam mat is in the corner, okay? And now we know we're good to go. So as you can see here, I've already punched out all the labels. And so I need the longest one. Let's see if this is it. Now you would think these things are symmetrical. I must have got that one right. But sometimes if you put it in, let me see if it works the other way. It doesn't quite work sometimes one way. This one did, but especially in the ones with more shape. I don't know why, but they're not symmetrical necessarily all the time. So let's stamp this, sending you a big squeeze because we're going to be using the lemons. Okay, so this way you can do your labels all at once, and I got that one too inky. You know what? I'm going to use a new one because I think that shows on the back. The good thing about these labels is they're pretty simple to reproduce. So if you mess some up, you can always cut more. Let's see if this one's the right size. All right, let me clean my big squeeze. I did just refill my Memento, so I need to be gentle with my tap. Okay, let's give that one a try. All right, that is much better. So always be careful, especially right after you re-ink something, that it's not too well inked like that one was. I think I also did a twist, which is usually not good on the Memento pad. All right, so I have my thick white card base that I'm going to leave there for a minute because I want to build this scene, and then I'm going to add some ribbon to it next. So just kind of lay out your things as you would like for them to be on your card. That's what I always do first to see if I want to move this up a little bit. And then I can start adhering down to this pink piece. Now in this kit, I did not use any of the envelopes. So I figured I had enough, plus we didn't have an additional stamp to cut up. So, and that is the wrong pick tool. Here's this one. All right, I'm going to put some glue dots on the back of these leaves because I don't really want the adhesive to leak through. So glue dots are a great option for this. And again, I have a pile of these that I've just collected from the kits, and I just use whatever is on top basically to put on my glue dots. These are some old ones, but they still work. Okay, so that should be enough, except I lost the glue on that one. Let me find my better end. So I have two of these, and I keep the roller here where you get stuff out of dies, and then the spatula. I usually like the pick one, the best end, but it must be over by my die cut machine because it's not in its jar. All right, that one's best for picking up like embellishments and stuff. All right, so let's just put this leaf here. And by the way, when you're cutting up your big leaf, just find a good spot like to cut, right? You can get those leaves, this little set of leaves, and this set. So that's kind of what I did with my leaves there. This one may require a few more. Than my other one. Okay. Get the backings off. I guess I could have applied those before the video, but I did not. Okay, so then we just set those down wherever. Kind of look eye where you want your lemon. Okay, and now we're going to do the lemon. I think I am going to cut the leaves off on this one, and you'll see in my final one at the end what it looks like without the leaf, in case you want to leave yours on. So I'm going to cut that off so it's not weird looking with the leaves. All right, I am going to adhere this flat down because I'm going to put this whole thing on dimensionals. So I'm going to get my multi-purpose liquid glue. And put this down. Okay, and same thing with the sentiment. I'm going to go ahead and adhere part of that down just on that side because I will put a dimensional to hold it up on the right side. Okay, so here is our base of our card. Now I wanted to jazz it up a little bit, but I just wanted to show in case you don't have any additional material. I did want to jazz it up a little with some ribbon, and then I have such a mass of designer series paper that I decided I need to start using more of it. So this is a retired, but really any black and white cardstock you have would work for this. I just thought it would break up some of the yellow with that. So I just wanted to show that in case you have some black and white paper, or show it plain if you don't have anything like that. Either way looks fine. I just thought I needed to start using a lot of my supplies. I have more designer series paper than I think I could ever use in my lifetime, but so I'm going to use it today. So I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this pink piece, and I always like to cut them in half and use the outside backing. So you can see here that this is the outside backing. You just cut. Sometimes the whole thing gets cut off and you have to remove one piece, and that works too. I can finish this one out. And then I generally like to put one in the center to help hold up the middle part. Although I'm going to have ribbon there, so I'm going to put it a little off center. And then I'll do the other side. It doesn't stick real well sometimes to your ribbon, so be mindful of that. Now this ribbon, it was, last I looked, on the retired list, or in the clearance rack. It's called the white frayed ribbon. So that's a great time when I like to snap up some ribbon, is to always look at the clearance rack. It's very economical to get your ribbon that way and start building your stash. Okay, I took those off first, but I want to adhere my ribbon. So generally what I do is get some tear and tape or adhesive strips or something like that, and I put it down here and here on each side. And as you can see, I don't cut the whole back of the ribbon. I just cut enough to cover around the front with some hanging on the back. Okay, now if you want it in the center, what I find easiest to do is use your grid paper, align your cardstock so that it is in the center, and then you can kind of line up your ribbon this way. Hold it flat so you don't move it. Take off your adhesive and then you can wrap it around. Same thing with this side. Just kind of eye straight, give it a good tug. And then it's pretty much in the middle. Close enough anyway for eyeing. Okay, now that the ribbon is on here, we can attach this to our thick white card base. This is kind of nice. I haven't used Lemon Lolly much yet, so it was a good time to bring in this color. Okay, and I took these off. Now I know I do need a dimensional right here to hold up my sentiment that's hanging off. So it can be a part of one. I just happen to be finishing out some here. Okay, and then I'm going to put it in the center. You could line it up here. I'm going to kind of put it in the center. Okay, now you can decide if you wanted to tuck in some designer series paper. Actually, I should have done that before I put that down. But if you get it there quick, you can generally pull these up. Okay, and then I am going to go ahead and adhere that down while I have it up. I really did not like this side of the designer series paper at all, so I thought I'm going to use the black and white side. This is from the old Tutti Frutti. That was a 6x6 pack. So see what a difference that makes just by breaking that yellow. Okay, and then you can always add embellishments, which we have in this kit. I put mine in the little thing that it came with, or if you are out, then you can, there's plenty of embellishments in the online store that make great embellishments for this kit as well. Let's see. It's generally best to do them like in a triangle. So if you can do some sort of triangle pattern, I find that works best for your embellishments. Now I'm going to show you the card that I made. First of all, was this one. So if you liked the leaf or additional leaves, you could glue this back in, or you could take apart some of these leaves to add more. So here I'll show you kind of what I do. So I want just a small leaf. So I'm going to cut that from there. Make sure they all kind of look like leaves still, like you may have to trim it up a little bit. And then you can tuck that in there. I think that's what this card needs, is a little more leaves. My voice seems kind of raspy today. All right, more little glue dots. And you can also, it's a little fussier, you can use your scissors on these glue dots if you do not have a take your pick tool. My take your pick tool is the best. Let me use these with a finer tip. These are almost like our snips. Our snips are really good. I have so many scissors laying around. I kind of go for whichever one hits first, except for my one that's exclusive for ribbon. Okay, so what do you think about these? Let me know, do you like it with the lemon or, excuse me, with its leaf or without? Oh, I forgot two other things. So in my stash, if you have this, it's an old kit. Let me find the stamp set. It was called Simply Citrus Kit, and it had a lemon here. So I also stamped and pre-cut those. And I did these in Daffodil Delight to match the other ribbon. So you could always just cut some cardstock kind of in a fruit design and add some dots. Okay, but that's what I did here to add additional fruit to the kit. And I'm going to show you a few other things you may have in your stash that you can then add to your card. Since we didn't get a fruit stamp, I'm still a little disappointed in that. But I can tell you, I'm really looking forward to the July kit, and I've thought, do I need to order 2 of those or wait and hope there's a refill or something like that? Okay, so there is the lemons. Now, what you may also have, this is a retired set as well, and it's called the Apple Harvest, but I colored them like peaches instead of apples. So that would make a beautiful card. I think I still have half a base left. And I was going to, yeah, this one's not embossed. It's just one of the card bases. That would look really cute on this. Okay. Okay. Also available in the annual catalog is this set. It's in the Mediterranean Bloom Suite, but the bundle is called Citrus Blooms. And so it would be a great thing to add to this paper pumpkin kit if you're interested. And until the end of today, this bundle is an additional 10% off. And the bundle number for this is 163295. And as you can see here, the designer series paper would also be great. You could cut apart the fruit. I do love the blue side as well. I tend to love the back sides of the designer series paper. But it has several different fruits you could cut apart if you were interested. And the designer series paper number for it is 163284. And this host code, if you do not have a demonstrator, will be active until about 7 or 8 p.m. Central Time. And then tomorrow I will open a new host code. If you're ever looking for my host code, you can go to my online store under specials, and that's where I update the host code if I haven't posted a video yet. So anyway, I thought I would share some other things you may want to add to your kit to expand the kit, especially if you've cut the bases in half like I have. So thanks for joining me today, everyone. This is a very short video, but I had one last alternative to show before I close out this kit. So thanks for joining me. If you missed any of my other kits, alternatives, be sure and check those in the on my YouTube channel. Just click on my channel and then videos, and that will put them in date order published. If you have any other past kits you haven't finished yet, I have lots of alternatives in my channel as well. And I recently did a free online class with the Unbounded Beauty Suite, so be sure and check that out as well. So again, until my next video, I do hope to come out with another free online class before the kit gets here. So be sure and subscribe to my channel. As I say always, the best compliment you can give me is a thumbs up. Subscribe to my YouTube channel and share this with your other paper crafting friends. So if you have any questions, you can leave those in the comment below, and I appreciate you watching. So I did forget to mention my favorite things in case you're new. So they are things that Stampin' Up! Does not supply that I find helpful in my craft room. And these are the 5x7s. And I showed earlier where I put my instructions in a bigger envelope. So there are links to where you can find those items in the video description of this box. I am an Amazon affiliate, and when you use those links to purchase those products, I get a few pennies back at no cost to you. So if you're interested in those items and use those links, thank you very much. So that explains my favorite things. So thanks for joining me again, everyone. I hope you have a great Sunday. And I did forget to show myself. So I'll come back to me for a second and say goodbye to everyone. So have a great weekend, everyone, and a great 4th. Bye-bye.